Okay, so these are the practice problems from Unit 7, Section 4. I have an x equals equation. X equals -1/8 y squared. So I'm still finding my a value, and I'm going to take the reciprocal of a and set it equal to 4c. So 4c is equal to what? -8. That means c equals -2. Good. Now, let's talk about this. It's x equals, and my a value is negative. So where are my negative x values? To the left. So this will open left. If it's a y equals and it's negative, my negative y values are down, so that would open down. But this is x equals, so it has to open to the left. We're missing a blank here. Where is my vertex of this equation? 0, 0. I keep wanting to call it a function. Why is it not a function? Very good. If this was going to open, that's not the left, that's the right. If this is going to open to the left, it's going to look like this, right? And it's not going to pass the vertical line test. There are going to be 2 y values for 1 x value. Okay, my focus still has to be c units away from my vertex. So these are c units apart. But which direction do I go to plot my focus if my parabola opens to the left? Yeah, as Beyonce says, to the left, to the left. 2 and 2 to the left, to the left. Yeah, we are recording.
Yes, we're going to be on YouTube. It's like 50K subscribers from this one video.
More than 2 minutes and like 30 seconds.
All right. That point is -2, 0. Ooh. It's an x-intercept instead of y-intercept. Which direction do I go to plot my directrix? To the right, to the right. Yeah. It's not as exciting, but. All right, what's the equation of that one? X equals 2. Very good. Observation. This goes, remember, vertical lines go through x. So all of these x values equal +2. So you will have an x equals 2. If you ever totally blank out and can't remember if x or y is vertical or horizontal, if you have an x equals parabola, you will have an x equals directrix. And if you have a y equals parabola, you'll have a y equals directrix. So that helps. All right. How far apart are these focal chord endpoints going to be? 8 units apart. Very good. So that we get that from the 4C. So here's my focus. How many am I going to go in each direction?
4.
Good. 4 up and 4 down, so that those are 8 units apart. So those are at -2, 4, and -2, -4. This time the x values match. Questions on that one? Whoa. All right. Number 2, graph the parabola y equals 2x. Y squared equals 2x. Find and graph the focus directrix and focal chord endpoints. So, what variable am I solving for? Yx. Because we're in the sideways section, right? So this is section 4, and we're in a sideways section. But on your test, I'm not going to be like, this is a question from section 4. So how are you able to tell whether you solve for x or y?
Y is squared.
Because the y is squared and the x is not. So we get x equals 1/2 y squared. All right, where is my vertex? Good. What direction is this going to open?
Right.
Positive x value, which is to the right. Here are my positive x values, right? All right. 4c, what does 4c equal? 2. So what does c equal? 1/2. Good. You can also write it as 0.5 if you would like. My focus. What direction do we go by 1/2? To the right 1/2. Ooh. Okay, so that is 1/2 comma 0, or you can write it as 0.50. What direction do I go for the directrix? To the left, negative 0.5, and is that x equals or y equals? Good. X equals negative 1/2, or you can write it as x equals negative 0.5. How far apart are these focal chord endpoints? 2. 2 units apart, because that's the reciprocal of A. How far do I go from my focus? 1 up, 1 down. Just small values, right? All right, let's write down those focal chord endpoints, and do not forget that you are not on a lattice point. So where is this point? 0.51 and 0.5 negative 1. Good. That should be a point. Or 1/2 1 and 1/2 negative 1. Questions? Okay, so in the last section, we learned how to derive the equation in descriptive form. In order to derive an equation, you have to take a formula and change it to another formula. So what formula do we use to derive the equation of a parabola? Good. We're going to use the distance formula. And you're going to calculate the distance from P to D and check to see if that's equal to P to F. So PD equals PF was the equation we used. Now, that is what you need to do whenever it says derive. Now, I'm going to change this word. I'm going to change it to write, because I want to show you another way to write the equation of a parabola without having to derive it from the distance formula, okay? If it says derive, you must derive, because you have to follow directions. But I just changed the directions because I'm the teacher and I can do that. I have the power. You can do all sorts of songs in this video. Okay. So, in order to write the equation, we're going to use a graph to view what the parabola looks like and then write an equation from that. It might take just as long as doing the distance formula, but some people prefer different methods. So we're going to graph the focus. Where's the focus at? 4, 0, so that's right here. Where's the directrix at? X equals -4. Is that vertical or horizontal? Good. So vertical line through -4. Where's the vertex of this graph? Probably 0, 0 because all the other ones were, right? But why would it be 0, 0 for sure on this problem? We're not given the shift, but we're not given the equation either, so we wouldn't be able to tell if we were given the shift. It's equal distance from the focus and the directrix. So if I go in 4 on either side, they meet in the middle at 0, 0, right? That's why you know, first of all, that you have no shift, is because it has to line up with the focus and it has to be directly in the middle. Okay, so we know that this parabola opens which direction? To the right, because it has to open toward the focus. Now, technically, I can even find these other points. If this C value is 4, then what's the distance between my focal chord endpoints? Nope. All right, let's go back to the top one. How far apart is this focus and vertex?
Oh, it's double that, so
I know you guys said 8, but that was wrong. I was asking you, how far apart are these two endpoints?
Oh, so 16?
16. It's 8 in each direction. Is that what we meant?
Yeah.
Okay, but I need to know how far apart they are from each other, which is 16, right?
Yeah.
So this point is at 4, 8, and this point is at 4, -8, which is 16 units apart.
So technically we were right.
Depending on whether you would write your equation correctly will determine if you're right. All right. So first of all, this opens toward positive x values. Am I going to have an x equals or a y equals? X equals. Is my a value going to be positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive, because it opens toward the positive x values. What is the a value?
That's a great question.
1/16 y squared. Oh, look what I did. You can't have an x on either side. What are you doing? Y squared. Okay, let's talk about y. First of all, what's the reciprocal of a here? 16. So 4c should equal 16, which means c equals 4. I didn't want you to put an 8 there when I asked you what is the distance between your focal chord endpoints. Okay? So the distance between your focal chord endpoints is the same as the reciprocal of a. So I just took the reciprocal of 16 and made it my a value. This is the equation of our parabola. Now, you can get this same equation by doing the distance formula.